was tremendous. Thibodeau really connected with the players on the Bulls roster early on. I mean, Derrick Rose attributed the huge jump in his game and what he made defensively to the coaching of Tom Thibodeau.
Back to Nash. Lets it go with the three. Gets it to go. Nash has got 5.
Well, with a dead-eye shooter like him, it takes more than average defense to put a stop to it. It takes great defense, and even that might not be enough.
Well, Clark, and it just goes, as you mentioned. I mean, the whole team bought into his coaching philosophy. And, Steve, you've always said, and Clark has too, that when the best player follows, everybody else will follow that best player.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, when Derrick Rose is buying in and believing in what the coach is selling, it's easy for everybody else to jump on board. And when that happens, you really gain a lot of momentum as an organization. He put that lead pass in perfect position for his teammate.
Here's Bogans from outside off the mark. Suns leading by 5. Here's the break. Poked away. Stolen by Bogans. Rose dishes to Denver.
Oh, a monster throwdown. Wow. Boom.
And that steal really triggered the fast break. Nice play.
Hey, you're right, and the break itself may have been even better.
Now here's Dudley. He's guarded closely. Fry. And here is Dudley. Uncovered. And Luol Deng pulls it down.
Boy, Luol Deng quietly had a really good year for Chicago last season. And he plays well at both ends of the floor. Good length and athleticism, and also that mid-range jump shot.
Boy, that's finishing the defense there. He made a good effort on that possession defensively and then closed it out with the rebound.
And a shot side. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Nice time to use that foul to stop the layup.
You know, if you can save just 1 point, that foul was the right move.
You're talking about Luol Deng's length and athleticism. You combine that with his good defensive awareness, and that's something he said he picked up at Duke. He's, of course, with Tom Thibodeau is now the new coach, defensive-minded coach for the Bulls. He's one of the reasons Chicago is such a good team defensively.
He might be the most important reason because versatility and the fact that he can defend individually and he's excellent in the team. But I like his fortitude, his resilience. I mean, he always is at the same level of effort. You watch him, he never vacillates, and he's always giving you a hard, focused, intense effort, and that's very admirable.
One thing is he was healthy last year, which was really huge.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
Absolutely.
When guys are healthy, you get to see who they really are. Injuries really impact how guys can perform over that long of a season.
A moment for our Gatorade injury report. We've got a chance to...
For an athlete, but, you know, you just got to grind through it, get your way back onto the court.
No luck, and it's the Suns taking it the other way. And while we have a chance, let's take a look at the best free throw shooters in the league from last season. And you take a look at Steve Nash, one of the league's best, 3rd in free throw percentage.
The pressure is always there when you're at the foul line. It's you in the basket, you're all alone, but the really good free throw shooters are the ones that can knock them down at a high rate. And this guy is on that list because he was able to block out the distraction and follow his routine.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Korver comes in for Keith Bogans. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Here is Petrus. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Launches it. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assists.
And a great start offensively.
Yeah, they've come out strong. I mean, really scoring and playing with confidence.
Thomas passes to Dent. Rose, some nice passing. The 3 from Korver. Hill pulls it in. Hill's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
They got that rebound, but this is not how they wanted to start the game in terms of hitting the glass.
Yeah, it's about time they actually got a rebound. It's time to get physical here in this game.
And that one's good from Petrus.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
There's Rose with the 3, and that one's good. Rose has got himself on the board with 3 there. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Rose against Nash. Takes the lead pass. Lopez with the bucket.
It's been all about ball movement here. Great passing.
Yeah, anytime you've got an unselfish team, the ball will find the open player.
Thomas kicks to Rose, and stolen by Nash. Takes a three. No good on the buzzer beater. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Suns.
This Friday, Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks go up against LeBron James and the Miami Heat. The new
Here is Rose.
Well, last season, the Suns' road record dipped well below 500, 17 and 24. And that's one of the reasons they were on the outside looking in when it came to playoff time.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Taking a look at the Bulls. It's Gibson and Noah at the 4 and the 5. Derrick Rose is out there with Kyle Korver. And it's Butler in at the 3, the small forward. Steve, that's your old team, the Suns. They could put on a show, certainly. They always have with Nash. But Clark, they couldn't get enough wins on the road. 17 and 24, as Steve just said.
Yeah, well, that may have been part of it, too. I mean, those high-scoring games tend to get the crowd engaged, and that gives the home team life. I mean, when you're an up-and-down team, you're giving the other team possessions as well. And when you're not really strong defensively, then that creates opportunities to not be able to finish games or close out opponents. And I think the Suns struggled at the defensive end of the floor at times.
I don't like his body language, guys, right now. He looks like he's completely out of rhythm.
From deep, Brooks. And it goes out of bounds following the shot. And here's what the Chicago Bulls schedule is looking like. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Here's Rose. 6 points for him.
Kind of a strange season for Aaron Brooks last year, guys. He was unhappy when Houston didn't give him a contract extension, so the Rockets eventually traded him to Phoenix for Goran Dragic.
Fades. And the shot is good. 8 points for Rose.
That was a beautiful fadeaway. Knocked it down with the defender right in his grip. You know, Steve, when you talk about Aaron Brooks and every point you made is a good one, it wasn't really the best of fits for him. And I think here in Phoenix, it has been a nice fit. He's got speed and shooting ability, and he can definitely play an up-tempo game, and that's Phoenix's style. Boy, every time they drop it in, they do so from close range. Easy baskets.
Yeah, high percentage looks time and time again, guys, and it's paying off for them. The way they're playing this game, I like their strategy.
He's covered by Rose. Brooks. Now the pass to front. And there's the 3-second violation. Yeah. Here is the 2K leaderboard with last season's top passing teams. The Suns third.
Yeah, wonderful passing team, and it was the kind of basketball that fans love to watch. Very unselfish.
Chicago making some changes. Luol Deng is checked in for Razua Butler. Hogans comes in for Kyle Korver. And it's Watson in for Derrick Rose. Then for the Suns, Hakeem Warwick. He's checked in for Fry. Childress comes in for Grant Hill. And Beecher sub in for Jared Dudley.
I'll tell you what, right now that mid-range jumper serving them well.
Yes, it is, guys. That's 6 of their last 10 points coming from that mid-range area.
Now, here's Childress. He's covered by Deng. Backing down his Gortat. He feeds it to Ward. 6 to shoot. No good on his first attempt of the game.
And a nice job there defensively, just getting a hand up enough to bother the shot.
Yeah, that was very nice. Impressive. It made it a much more difficult shot. He can be dangerous from out there. As a matter of fact, he can be lethal. His first from the arc after having none in the first quarter. Keep an eye on him.
Now here's Brooks. Defense right on him. They can't stop the run with that one.
Tell you what, the defender made a nice recovery there. It looked like he was beaten, but he still managed to challenge the shot.
From downtown, Gortat with the rebound. The Suns leading. Their next game is at New Orleans Arena in New Orleans for a game against the Hornets. That will conclude conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
You know, guys, most coaches prefer you drive the lane in transition, but this time the floor opened up for him out on the three-point line.
Now, the Suns missed out on the playoffs for only the 4th time in the last 23 years last season. And with the team getting older and no outstanding young players, it may be a while before Phoenix returns to prominence.
And the Suns call time.
You got to keep everybody on the same page. They need to get their heads together. That's the goal.
And, you know, for the Suns, Clark, what do you think is their best path for them right now? Could they bounce back to where they were, you think?
In the short term, Kevin, I'd have to say no. I mean, this team a few years ago had a legitimate chance to win a title. I mean, now the talent level has dropped off, and we know you start right there. I mean, you've got to have talent to think about a championship, and it's easy to see why the word rebuild kind of floats around. I think that takes time, and that's where the Suns are right now.
For so long they've been looking for a center. Now they got Lopez, they got Gortat, but they don't have anything around it, or at least things that they're really building for.
It just reminds you of how hard it is to get the pieces together to play at a high level and to have a chance to compete for and pursue a championship.
Rose, good. Rose has got 12 in the game.
He didn't get off to much of a start early on, but seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
Here's Hill. And again, it's the Suns missing.
How amazing is it, Kevin, to see Grant Hill really enjoying a second prime in his late 30s. I mean, he's been remarkably durable for a player of his age. He's played 80-plus games 3 years in a row now.
The rebound by Noah. Noah's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Outside Boozer. A fader. Rose can't get that one to fall. Good note there, Clark, on Grant Hill. He's just the 3rd player in NBA history to record 3 seasons of 80 games or more played. Steve, after the age of 36, remarkable.
And especially when you consider the injuries that hit him in the prime of his career, all those foot surgeries. So it's been a real renaissance for Grant Hill. Just an amazing turnaround to his career and a fantastic player and leader for that club.
Rose dishes to Bogans. Brewer up top. Fades and shoots. And that one's good. And the Bulls lead by 2.
Well, he could have earned some style points there, but he really doesn't need to use the fadeaway when he's that wide open.
Brooks against Rose. Brooks kicks to Lopez. Goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down. And this game is tied up now.
Old school, old-fashioned, one-hand power jam.
Just like you, Clark, tried and true.
That's all he needed to do. Just taking care of business out there.
We'll be back momentarily.
Hello and welcome to the HP Halftime Report. It's time to break down some Wednesday night hoops. At the midway point, the Bulls are playing very well. They've done a fantastic job pushing the break and the tempo, easy buckets in transition. For Derrick Rose, things are certainly going his way against the